So here we are in the cab of G351, one of several hundred utility buses built during the end of World War II, some vehicles delivered shortly afterwards. They're very simple and straightforward, very square, just using regular timber. And that's because there was a shortage of materials at the end and after the war, and also a shortage of skilled craftsmen. So these ones were built, some went to London to replace many of the vehicles that had been destroyed during the war. Everything about this bus is just lovely because it is so simple. And here in the cab, as you can see, compared with a modern vehicle, hardly any switches, a couple of light switches over here. The wiper switch is on the back of the windscreen wiper motor. Up here we have the head, side and interior lights, and of course the starter. The gearbox on this bus is amazing. It's a crash gearbox, which means you have to change gear and double declutch. No synchromesh, and at the time when these were being delivered, London drivers were already used to pre-select. But not only is it a crash gearbox, but the gear positions are backwards to how you'd expect. So first gear is on the right side. First is forward and second is back. Then we move the lever over to the left and forward for third and back for fourth. You've got to keep your wits about you. It's the wrong way round for anybody who's driven a modern gearbox vehicle.
Here is how we do it. With the bell, clutch down and right and back into second, off with the handbrake and away with the clutch, off we go. Accelerating away in second, then pull it into neutral, check left, forward and into third. There we go, back on the gas. And all this gear change is done just by listening to the cogs. Back into neutral, no clutch, check the gear levers in the right place, left and back, there we are, into fourth. So now we're back on the gas. Now that's all right for going up, but what about going down? So we've got to slow down now, back on the gear lever now. So what we're going to do is push it into third, out of the clutch, push it in, rev it up and into third, just get the gears exactly right. Steering around a corner now, as you can see, back on the gas. Soon it'll be time just to pull it back into neutral and then accelerate away into fourth. Here we go, off the gas into neutral and back. There we are, all done, easy as that.
So as you can see inside the bus, everything very simple. The wooden frames, they're square to the windows. Everything able to be made simply and with simple materials and without too many skills. The light bulbs just all exposed, and even these seats just covered in a regular brown leather cloth. Really nice vehicle though, very light, very practical, and very much of the time painted, of course, inside in brown and more brown. Because it was maybe the easiest paint to find at the time. Nothing like the modern sort of buses that we have now. Apart from that, no indicators, so we have to signal out of the side window. The brakes are pretty good, but they're 1940s brakes, so in modern traffic conditions you need to keep a bit of a close eye, as you might imagine, to make sure that we operate safely. But it doesn't matter because we don't go very fast, because of course these old vehicles were only built to go quite slowly. So there we are, we're in the cab of G351, a really exciting bus to be out there with, really enjoyable to drive. The passengers love it, the staff love it, and we love to let our modern passengers, and especially young people, see what it was like to drive a real bus in the 1940s.